Good evening and welcome into FirstEnergy Stadium as we get set for game number 5 of 6 between the Reading Fightin Phils and the Erie SeaWolves. We welcome you into our pregame show. My name is Jake Starr. My broadcast partner Bob McCool will be coming up in just a couple of moments as we look ahead to the penultimate game of this week's series between Reading and Erie. Well, last night it was an exciting one. It was a baseball game, to say the least. It was a wild and crazy, wacky ball game, but the Fightin Phils prevailed 5-4. They trailed it 4-3, heading into the 9th inning, and they got 2 runs, no hits in that inning for the Fightin Phils, and won on a walk-off wild pitch. A lot happened. We could spend hours breaking down that ball game. A sac fly that was caught that maybe shouldn't have been caught, and the whole 9 yards from there. So it was a crazy game, but if you're the Fightin Phils, you'll take it. Even up the series of 2 games apiece, and we'll look to make it 3 wins on the week here today against Erie. We're going to step aside for a moment on our pregame show. When we come back, Alex Pinellas, the newest Fightin Phil, joins us on the pregame show. That conversation, part 1 of 2 with Alex Pinellas, is coming up after this on the Fightin Phils Radio Network. Back on the pregame show here on the Fightin Phillies radio network. Jake Starr about to be joined by my broadcast partner, Bob McCool. A couple of minutes shy of first pitch of game number 5 of 6 between the Reading Fightin Phillies and the Erie SeaWolves. Well, Bob, Reading won last night. It was definitely a non-conventional victory for the Fightin Phillies. But look, if there's one thing we're going to give this Reading team, Bob, this year is I know they didn't have the hottest start to the year. It's been a good May. They win today. They finished May one game above 500. But they fight. They don't quit. They showed that a couple of nights ago in Game 2 of the doubleheader. They showed it again last night.
Yeah, the good news is they've lived up to their nickname of the Fightin Phillies for sure. The other piece of the puzzle is there's a column that says wins. There's a column that says losses. There's another column that says non-conventional. There's only wins and losses. And right now, obviously, for the Fightin Phillies, the wins are starting to at least equal up to the losses and on occasions tip over the top. And you're playing one of the top teams in the Eastern League in the Erie SeaWolves, and so far through 4 games, you're even with a chance to take this series or at least, at no worse, split this series, take care of business tonight.
Fightin Phillies have taken the field, and it's time for tonight's national anthem. With that, that'll conclude tonight's pregame show. We'll step aside for a moment, and we'll have lineups and first pitch coming up for you after this on the Fightin Phillies radio network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to FirstEnergy Stadium. The Eastward Elementary School Chorus banging out the national anthem tonight. The fireworks start a little bit early. There'll be plenty more to come when this one is over with, but we set the stage for tonight's baseball game, Game 5 of this 6-game series that has been, if nothing else, entertaining from the get-go as the Erie SeaWolves and the Reading Fightin Phillies go toe-to-toe again for this 5th game of the series that right now is even at 2 wins apiece. Erie on the season is at 32-17, and the Reading Fightin Phillies at 18-29. Lefty for the SeaWolves tonight in Carlos Pena, and a right-hander for the Phillies in Gene Cabrera. We'll tell you a whole lot more about them as we move on tonight. Alongside my broadcast partner, Jake Starr, my name is Bob McCool, and the SeaWolves will go with Trey Cruz right back in leadoff spot tonight, and he's back at shortstop as well. Carlos Mendoza bats second and is playing at third base. Tyron Lorenzo is the designated hitter, batting third tonight. Jake Holton in the cleanup spot, playing at first base. Justice Bigby bats fifth, and in right field, Roberto Campos bats sixth. In center field, Chris Myers is in left field, batting seventh. Eleazar Alfonso behind the plate and batting eighth. And Jim Jarvis bats ninth and is at second base tonight. And again, that lineup faces right-hander for the Fightin Phillies, Gene Cabrera.
It's the 10th start of the season for Gene Cabrera. 1-2, a 4.08 ERA, 46 1/3 innings pitched, 32 hits. He has struck out 41. Opponents are hitting just 195 against him, but the number for Cabrera to kind of pay attention to is the walks. He's issued a team high 31. That's amongst the most in the Eastern League as well. So Cabrera misses a lot of bats, But when he's losing the strike zone, that's when he gets himself in trouble. But if he's in and around the zone, he's usually pretty good.
Today's game time temperature is 65 degrees, although it feels a whole lot more than that because of the wind. Winds at about 12 miles an hour, but gusty winds, gusts up to 25 miles an hour, and it will be a big piece of this puzzle. Trey Cruz takes the first pitch from Gene Cabrera at 6:46 p.m., and that first pitch from Cabrera is over for a called strike one. And right back with his 0-1 pitch. It misses a bit outside. It's 1-1. Cruz on the season at 268 on the year. He's got 12 doubles, a triple, 6 home runs, and 22 RBIs. 3 for 15 so far in this series. Switch hitter batting left against Cabrera. 1-1 pitch is again outside. It's 2-1. Crowd continues to file in here at FirstEnergy Stadium. Looking like it's going to be a large crowd tonight on this Saturday night with Mega Blast fireworks to follow. And Cabrera misses again outside, so after getting the first pitch over for a strike, he misses 3 straight pitches outside. Here's his 3-1 pitch, and Cruz fouls that one straight back to put the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cruz is a home run and 3 RBIs in this series. Played a couple of different positions, playing shortstop today as he did last night. 3-2 pitch to him, swing and a miss, strike 3 as he pulls the string on the changeup and had Cruz way out in front.
Yeah, good job there by Gene Cabrera to start off this game. Got down to the count 3-1, worked his way back, and he gets Trey Cruz down on strikes.
Carlos Mendoza will bat. Mendoza came in hot, started hot, and has cooled off a bit of late. 1 for his last 9 in the series, 3 for 16 in total. Another left-handed hitter, and the first pitch to Cabrera, I think it almost kind of slipped out of his hand a little bit as he tried to throw a curveball and it didn't curve. It's 1-0. Mendoza's cooled off. He's down to 341 on the season. 6 doubles, a couple home runs, and 12 RBIs. 1-0 pitch is on the letters for a called strike one. 1-1 now to Carlos Mendoza. First 3 batters in the lineup for the SeaWolves tonight will bat for the left side. So too will the last 3. Middle 3 are all right-handed hitters. 1 ball and 1 strike. With that is a combination of switch hitters who bat left-handed against Cabrera. 1-1 pitch. There again for a called strike 2. Manager Andrew Graham has 3 switch hitters in his lineup tonight as Mendoza rolls this foul on the first base line. The defense behind Cabrera, Felix Reyes is in left field. Cade Fergus is in center. Leajo Pineda is in right. Keaton Anthony at first base. Luis Verdugo gets to start at second base tonight. Aiden Miller at short. Alex Pinellas at third. And Josh Bro is behind the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch in the dirt. It's 2-2. Jake said 10th start for Cabrera. He's given up just 2 home runs so far. The SeaWolves team has kind of hit their home runs in bunches. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And comes back with the slider that he buries in the dirt. The count is full at 3-2. So Cabrera starts the first 2 hitters in this SeaWolves lineup with 3-2 pitches. Able to get Cruz, now tries to get Mendoza. Beats it foul and stays alive. Andrew Graham, the manager for the SeaWolves, in the third base coaching box. Tim Garland coaches at first. It's a crisp, cool night here at FirstEnergy Stadium. And the 3-2 pitch is low, ball 4. So he got ahead of Mendoza with 2 strikes and then loses him to be the game's first base runner.
Yeah, we talked about kind of that being the negative aspect of Cabrera so far this year has been the walks. Now 32 over 46 and 2/3 innings pitched. The key's just got to be limiting that damage with the guy on base now.
Tyron Lorenzo will bat, and he swings and misses at the first pitch. Lorenzo, one of those switch hitters, again batting left-handed against Cabrera. Designated hitter hitting just 193 as he stands in. 1 for 6 so far in this series. Now calls time at the plate. Lorenzo, the number 5 prospect in the Detroit Tigers organization. He's just 21. Won't turn 22 until July the 5th. There's a pickoff attempt, and Mendoza dives back in without a problem. Lorenzo was acquired last year at the trade deadline from the Los Angeles Dodgers, along with shortstop Trey Sweeney for right-handed pitcher Jack Flaherty. That pitch is outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Catches the outside corner, and he's ahead of Lorenzo now, 1-2.
Yeah, good spot with that curveball at 1-1 from Cabrera. Puts it right on the outside corner to Lorenzo. See what he comes back with here.
Pretty good sized lead for Mendoza, not going anywhere as the ball's in the dirt. It's 2-2. Cabrera's 23 years of age. He's the number 11 prospect in the Phillies organization. Originally from Venezuela, signed by the Phils as an international free agent in 2019. Comes with his 2-2 pitch. Beats it foul.
And these are Erie hitters. They're going to fight. They're going to put up long at-bats. And we're already looking at 3 quality at-bats from the top 3 of this lineup so far, which notably is absent Max Anderson tonight, which I think you'll take if you're Reading. Best hitter in the Eastern League average-wise.
And he has peppered FirstEnergy Stadium with hits over the course of this series. At one point in time, had 6 straight hits over 3 games. So on base 2 more times last night. 2 balls and 2 strikes again to Lorenzo. And again, he pulls the string on the changeup. And just like he did with Trey Cruz, he strikes out Lorenzo. 2 outs here in the first for Jake Holt.
It's Toy Story night here at the ballpark. And after the strikeouts, there's Toy Story clips. I don't know about you, but I'm a huge Toy Story fan.
Great
and
movie.
It's just, I'm cracking myself up watching these clips.
Specialty jerseys. The Fightin Phils wearing the Toy Story jerseys. The red Phils hats and the white pants. Those jerseys are available for auction. Several of those jerseys are. And of course, they'll be in the team store in no time. First pitch to Jake Holton is over for a called strike. Holton looking for his first hit in this series. Hitting at .241 on the season. 10 doubles, he's got 9 home runs, he's got 23 RBIs, but quiet so far on this trip. No balls and a strike to him. Drives this one straight away center field. Fergus back to the track, jumps and makes the catch! Gage Fergus skies and pulls it down. Take an extra base hit away from Jake Holton and retires the side. For the SeaWolves in the first, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We'll head to the bottom of the first, and for the first time at FirstEnergy Stadium tonight, the Fightin Phils will bat. Here's tonight's Fightin Phils starting lineup presented by Golden Oaks Landscaping. Cade Fergus will lead it off. He, of course, is in center field. Aiden Miller bats second. Keaton Anthony at first base bats third. Felix Reyes is the cleanup hitter tonight. He's at left field. Josh Breaux behind the plate is batting fifth. Alex Pinellas bats sixth and is at third base. The designated hitter tonight is Paul McIntosh. He's batting seventh. Leandro Pineda is in right field at batting eighth. And Luis Verdugo bats ninth. He is at second base. That lineup heavy on the right-hand side because they face a left-handed pitcher in Carlos Pena.
Ninth appearance, sixth start for Pena, who's been good. The record's only 1-3, but he's got a 1.99 ERA. 31 2/3 innings pitched, 25 hits, 7 walks, 28 strikeouts. Opposition hitting .219 against Pena this year.
So Cade Fergus leads off, and the first pitch is way inside as to jump his legs out of the way. And, you know, there's so many of those old adages in the world of baseball, and one of them is the guy that makes a great play to end an inning is the guy who leads off the next inning. In this case, Cade Fergus leads off for the Fightin Phillies after making a great leap and catch up against the fence to take extra base hits away from Holton and keep the SeaWolves off the scoreboard for the first time in a couple of games in the top half of the first. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Fergus after he fouled off the 1-0 pitch. And Pena's 1-1 is low to make it 2-1. Fergus started the rally last night by striking out.
Unconventional way to start a rally.
It's pretty much it was a precursor of how things would end. 2 balls and a strike to Fergus. He lifts this one straight up in the air. It's going to be an adventure. Shallow right field. Justice Bigby is under it, and he'll make the catch. Balls in the air. We had a ton of them last night. Are going to be an adventure with the wind today. But that one pretty much straight away for Bigby for out number 1 here in the first. Rest of the defense for the SeaWolves. Chris Myers is in left. Roberto Campos is in center. With, as we said, Bigby at right. Jake Holton at first. Jim Jarvis at second. Trey Cruz is at short. Carlos Mendoza as at third. And Eliezer Alfonso is at third. Aiden Miller is going to drive one. That's going to find the gap and bounce off the fence. Miller rounds second. He'll put on the brakes with a stand-up double.
Yeah, Aiden Miller swinging a very good bat right now. He had a great round of batting practice today. He was spraying the ball gap to gap on a line with every swing, and first pitch he sees, he puts one in the gap, and it's a man in scoring position.
Speaking of guys who hit the ball in the gap, from gap to gap, nobody's done it better than Keaton Anthony in 2025 for the Fight Phils, hitting at .324 on the season. 18 doubles, a couple home runs, and a team-high 24 RBIs as Miller takes his lead off of second. 1 out, bottom half for the first. And the first pitch to Anthony is a breaking ball that's over for a called strike 1.
It's been a red-hot month of May for Anthony, hitting .378 and OPS over 1,000, 11 doubles, and 12 runs driven in across 21 games this month.
Pena takes a look back at Miller, delivers. Anthony holds off. It's up high. It's 1-1.
And everyone talks about Aiden Miller, rightfully so. I think there's going to be a lot more people who are going to start talking about this kid, Keaton Anthony, very soon if they're not already.
He has had a great year to date, for sure. 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss, and a very late one at that for Anthony. It's 1-2.
Yeah, I asked Luke Merton, the player development director, yesterday in an interview, and I said, kind of knowing the answer I was going to get, but I wanted to hear it from him. Who's someone on this team who's not being talked about, who's going to come on people's radars? And without a hesitation, it was Keaton Anthony.
1 ball and 2 strikes is a pickoff attempt. Miller dives back in as Jim Jarvis, the second baseman, kind of sneaking in behind. I would add Henry Mendez to that list, although I think Mendez is pretty highly regarded. Anthony's not regarded as one of the top 30 prospects. Mendez is. But Mendez is also only 21, and he's really coming along. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Keaton Anthony. This one lifted straight up, shallow center field. Campos is coming in. He'll call for it, and he'll make the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, that's a little underneath that one was Keaton Anthony. It was a changeup low in the zone, and just kind of got it off the end of the bat. But you got Felix Reyes up 2 outs. See if he can pick up Keaton Anthony.
Reyes 4 for 7 in this series with 1 extra base hit and a double. But his batting average is .325. He's got 12 RBIs and 4 home runs on the year. Miller taking a good-sized lead off of second. Pena delivers, starts it with a curveball and misses it outside. It's 1-0. Phils, by the way, on the scoreboard are in their Buzz Lightyear gear on their images on the scoreboard. 1-0 pitch. Just reaches out and slaps at it, lifts it down the first base line in foul territory. Jake Holton will find room, and the first baseman will make the catch for the third and final out of the inning. So for the Phils in the first, they do not take advantage of the Miller double. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left, 1 complete in baseball town. We're scoreless. International Fireworks is the official sponsor of the Art Phil's fireworks shows during the 2025 season. Head to their store at 242 Sycamore Road in Douglasville or visit fireworksareus.com. We start the second inning with the Fightin Phils on top of the Erie SeaWolves. Fightin Phils and Erie SeaWolves tied scoreless so far at the top half of the second inning. Don't forget, Mega Blast Fireworks after tonight's ball game. Tomorrow, a giveaway item for kids, and it's a big one. Nick Singleton, former Governor Mifflin standout, now Penn State football standout, will be our hometown hero and recognized with a bobblehead giveaway for kids tomorrow in his Governor Mifflin Mustang finest uniform. And a photo session as well for kids with Nick Singleton. That'll be tomorrow for the series finale. 5:15 is the start time on Sunday as Justice Bigby leads it off here in the second. And Bigby swings at the first pitch from Gene Cabrera and lifts it foul and out of play. Bigby on a season, 261 on the year, 4 home runs and 28 RBIs. 0-1 pitch to him is a bit low. It's 1-1. Bigby with the home run in this series, 3 for 14 in total. And the 1-1 pitch is there for a called strike 2. Rolls it on the ground towards second. Luis Verdugo has his first opportunity at second base and makes the play without a problem. Verdugo has played third, he's played short, and is now playing second base. And with that one out here in the second inning for Roberto Campos. Campos, a .274 hitter on the season. 2 home runs and 19 RBIs. We've mentioned this before, we'll mention it again. The SeaWolves team leads the Eastern League in hitting and in run scores by a lot. And the first pitch to him is a swing and a miss as Cabrera gets ahead of Campos. No balls and a strike. Again, Holton and now Bigby and Campos, 3 right-handed hitters against Cabrera, and he takes that one for a called strike 2. So Cabrera quickly works ahead of Roberto Campos. No balls and 2 strikes. Andrew Graham has stacked his lineup with left-handed hitters. 0-2 pitch is lifted into left field. Felix Reyes has it without a problem, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Right, almost right at Felix Reyes in left field for the second out. And 2 quick outs here for Cabrera in the second as Chris Myers will bat. Again, the first 3 batters as switch hitters, Cruz and Lorenzo switch hitters, and Mendoza all left-handed hitting against Cabrera. Now Myers, the on-deck hitter, Alfonso, and Jarvis all will bat left-handed as well. So stacking the lineup left-handed against Cabrera, and the Phils have countered by stacking their lineup with right-handed hitters against left-handed pitching of Pena. Only 2 left-handed hitters in the Phils lineup. As Cabrera misses with his second pitch outside, it is 1 ball and 1 strike to Chris Myers. Lifts this one straight away center field. Fergus goes back to the triangle with room and makes the catch. Another long out to finish off the second inning, just like the first, as Myers hits one to the triangle and straightaway center field, and Fergus makes the catch for Erie in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We'll head to the bottom of the second. It remains scoreless in Reading. We head to the bottom of the second inning, and the Fightin' Phils will send Josh Bro, Alex Pinellas, and Paul McIntosh to face Carlos Pena here in the second. This inning is brought to you by Cornwall Manor, an active senior living not-for-profit community in scenic Cornwall, Pennsylvania, outside of Lebanon. Bro behind the plate tonight, hitting at 172 on the season. And the first pitch to him starts him again with a curveball. So Pena has started the last two hitters now with a curveball, and it's over for a called strike. And Bro takes another one for a called strike. He didn't like that one. It's no balls and 2 strikes, although that looked like a pretty good pitch from Pena, and now Bro will call time. Pena is 26 years of age, originally from Santiago in the Dominican Republic. Signed by the Tigers as an international free agent in 2019. Pitched the entire season last year with Erie. Comes a little bit of a quick pitch. Bro rolls it towards third. Mendoza has it, has plenty of time, and makes the throw across the diamond for out number 1. Pena kind of quick pitched a little bit there with his delivery. Didn't wind up as much. Trying to throw off the timing of Josh Bro, who grounds it to third. Pena last year with Erie made 19 starts, went 8-6 with a 3.49 earned run average. In a 113-inning pitch, he struck out 99, he walked 44. A much better strikeout to walk ratio so far in 2025 as he faces Alex Pinellas, who's 3 for 10 since being added to the Phillies roster. And he lifts this one to left field, going back as Myers. He'll have room in front of the warning track for the second out. That'll bring up Paul McIntosh. So last year, and again, in 113 innings pitched, Pena struck out 99 and walked 44. So far in a 25 coming into tonight, 31 2/3 innings pitched, strikeout of 28, but just 7 walks so far on the year, as Paul McIntosh settles in to the right-handed batter's box and takes the first pitch for a ball. Pena has only surrendered 2 home runs on the season, and this is his 7th start. And that pitch is on the inside corner for a called strike. He's also made 3 appearances out of the bullpen as well for the SeaWolves in 25. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Paul McIntosh. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Chase Eubanks calling the balls and strikes tonight. Alex Shears is at first base. Tim Barreras is at third. Our 3-man Eastern League umpiring crew. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Paul McIntosh. Lifts this one down the first base line, slicing towards the corner and foul. Justice Bigby will have to go back into a corner that he may have made famous last night by making a catch in that very corner that helped the Phils tie the game up and actually put them in a position to win it. Paul McIntosh in a 1-2 count. That one's in the dirt. It's 2-2. If you missed what happened at the end of last night, Phils had the bases loaded. Fly ball down the right field line from Henry Mendez. Bigby had the choice to let it drop. He opted to catch it, which allowed Cade Fergus to score the tying run. While Luis Verdugo was the pinch runner to tag up and move to third. A couple pitches later, wild pitch. Phils won the ball game. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Paul McIntosh. Line drive, but a humpback liner right at Jim Jarvis for the third and final out of the second inning. For the Phils in the second, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We're through 2, and we're scoreless in Baseball Town. We want to thank our good friends at Pepsi for presenting the 2025 season here in baseball town. Go fight Phillies and drink more Pepsi. Gene Cabrera back to work will face Eliezer Alfonso, Jim Jarvis, and Trey Cruz. That's 8-9-1 in the SeaWolves lineup. Alfonso behind the plates in tonight's game. SeaWolves use and have 3 catchers on their roster. They've all used all 3 of them behind the plates. They've also using Lorenzo as a designated hitter tonight. Eduardo Valencia, who is also one of the catchers, not in the lineup tonight. He played at first base last night. Alfonso at 235 on the season. Switch hitter batting left against Cabrera, and the first pitch is up high for a ball. Alfonso 0 for 4 in this series, in the one game that he played in. Has 2 doubles and 8 RBIs on the season. Lines this one down the third base line, and it's going to fall for a base hit. Reyes hustles over to get there, juggles a little bit, and Alfonso's going to take advantage of it and roll into second base, with what should be a double. First hit of the ball game for the SeaWolves. Little sinking line drive the other way off the bat of Alfonso. So Reyes ran it down, picked it up. Again, juggled it a little bit, but I don't think it would have mattered. So Alfonso is a leadoff base runner at second for Jim Jarvis, who's had a great series for the SeaWolves. Did not play in last night's game, but is 5 for 8 in the series. First pitch to him is there for a called strike. Jarvis at 258 on the season. A home run and 17 RBIs. He played shortstop the first couple games of this series, playing at second base tonight with Cruz back at shortstop. Cruz in the on-deck circle. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good changeup again by Cabrera. He's had a couple of these left-handed batters he's facing for the SeaWolves out in front of that changeup. And he's out in front of Jarvis now, no balls and 2 strikes. Beats this one foul off the facing of the Phil's dugout. Stays at no balls and 2 strikes. Cabrera struck out 2 in the first inning. Yet to walk a batter. He has walked 1. Jarvis chokes up on the bat now with 2 strikes. And lifts this one into left center field. Reyes calls for it, and the left fielder will make the catch. Alfonso will tag, but he's not going to go anywhere. Reyes gets it back in for out number 1 here in the third inning. That will flip the lineup around for Trey Cruz. As I said, Cruz struck out his first time up. Cruz has 22 RBIs on the year. Among the team leaders for the SeaWolves. The man at scoring position at second base, and now 1 out. And the first pitch is a healthy cut, but he comes up empty at the high fastball. Again, Trey Cruz, his real name is Trey Jose Cruz. He is the third of 3 professional baseball players. Grandfather Jose, his father Jose Jr., and he is Trey Jose Cruz. As he takes this one outside for a ball, it's 1-1. He was born in Toronto when his father was playing for the Blue Jays. Last year in Erie, he hit 260 with 9 home runs. This year he's hitting 268. He's already got 6 home runs. 1 ball and 1 strike to him. Beats this one off the end of the bat and foul towards the SeaWolves dugout. It's 1-2. So again, Cabrera with the changeup there with Cruz out in front, got it way off the end of his bat. See if he tries to come back with a heat now after showing him the changeup. Or he goes in a different direction. 1-2. Was another changeup, and he missed it low. It's 2-2. Cabrera, slight of frame, 6 foot, listed at 145 pounds. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, he got him again. Trey Cruz goes down swinging for the second time. 2 outs here in the third. And the third strikeout now for Cabrera. That brings up Mendoza. Mendoza walked his first time up after Cabrera got ahead of him with 2 quick strikes. Takes a look back at second and delivers. And it gets it over for a called strike with the curveball. Infield plays Mendoza to pull. The outfield shaded the other way. See that almost, I don't want to say exclusively with left-handed hitters, but without a doubt more often than not. The infielders play the left-handed hitters to pull. The outfielders play them the other way. Time called now at the plate by Mendoza. Cabrera takes a couple looks back to second, delivers up and away. It's 1-1. Each team with 1 hit now on the night. With Alfonso's leadoff double here in the third, but now 2 outs. And 1 ball and 1 strike to Carlos Mendoza. Lifts this one foul and out of play. So again, he gets to Mendoza at 1-2. This is where he ran into trouble with Mendoza, ended up walking him in his first plate appearance. Beats it on the ground, and it's foul. Almost very much of a swinging bunt for Mendoza. He was running down the first baseline as he swung. And probably just as well for the Phils that wasn't foul. I don't know that they had a play on Mendoza. So it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Carlos Mendoza. Phils won game 1 of this series on Tuesday, 1-0. Then after a rain out on Wednesday, the SeaWolves swept the doubleheader on Thursday. Phils won last night 5-4 to even the series at 2 games apiece. 1 ball and 2 strikes, we go again. And Mendoza swings in a foul tip that's held onto by Josh Bro, and that will retire the SeaWolves here in the third on the 4th strikeout by Gene Cabrera. The SeaWolves in the third, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left to the bottom of the third. It's still scoreless in Baseball Town. Bottom half of the third inning is brought to you by Swartz Culleton PC. You can expect reliable and experienced attorneys who are committed to getting you justice after a serious personal injury. Call Swartz Culleton today at 1-800-JUSTICE. Alongside Jake Starr, my name is Bob McCool. You listen to Reading Fight Phil's Baseball, the Reading Fight Phil's Radio Network, including 830 WEU.com. More of it tomorrow, again 5:15. Pregame show starts at 5 here from Baseball Town. Phils and SeaWolves in the getaway game. Cloudy skies not here at Baseball Town. There were some showers right before the game got started, but right now, although the skies look a little threatening, we have no rain, and we've got a scoreless ball game as Leandro Pineda will lead it off for the Phils here in the third. Followed by Luis Verdugo, and then the top of the order in Cade Fergus. First pitch to Pineda is over for a called strike. Again, Pineda and Alex Pinellas, the only lefties in manager Al Padrique's lineup tonight against the left-handed pitching of Carlos Pena. He goes back with his 0-1 pitch, and Pineda fouls that one straight back. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Pineda started to come out of it in the coming into this series. The batting average had started to climb up, but now 1 for 10 in this series, the average at 203. 0-2 pitch to him. Misses low and away. It's ball 1. Pineda had the night off last night.
Pineda hitting .296 over 24 May games.
And that batting average was well below 100 at some points in this season. So it's a tough climb for him. That's 1 and 2. And he lifts this one down the third base line, slicing away from Chris Myers and into foul territory. And it stays 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Just 1 home run, surprisingly, for Pineda this year. He had a couple of majestic ones with Reading last season. And the only one this year is one that just barely snuck over the left field fence. Opposite field shot.
1-2 pitch coming. Lifts this one foul and straight back in our direction.
I was ready to pounce on that.
You were. You just couldn't get it to you. Came up a little short.
A
Stays
little bit
1 and
more.
2. That's inside. It's 2 and 2. As Pineda came up last year, promoted from Jersey Shore in Reading, played just 12 games before an injury brought his season pretty much to an end at the beginning of August. Did hit 3 home runs when he was in his time with the Fightin Phils, as he fouls another one straight back and stays alive. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So he had combined 11 home runs between Jersey Shore and Reading. As Jake said, just 1 so far in 25. Pena winds and delivers again. Curveball, and Pineda fights it off and fouls it off.
Yeah, that's a good fight by Pineda. Pena trying to kind of mess with his timing, holds the leg up in the air for a split second, and Pineda does a good job staying on that off-speed pitch and fights it off, lives to see the next one.
And here is that next one from Pena. Fastball, he drives this one straight away right field. Bigby back and at the wall will make the catch. Pineda hit it a ton, but Bigby runs it down at the wall for out number 1.
Yeah, good at bat there from Leandro Pineda. Saw 9 pitches. He fouled off 4. Actually, he fouled off 5 balls as well. And that's one of those ones that kind of sucks that you're out, but it's one you don't want to hang your head on too long because it was a good at bat.
So that'll bring up Luis Verdugo. Verdugo starting for just the second time in this series, although he actually scored the game-winning run last night as a pinch runner. And the first pitch to him is outside for a ball. Verdugo hitting at 156 on the season. And swings late at that one, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So Pena, to Jake's point, really kind of mixes up his deliveries. Sometimes that leg comes up. Sometimes he kind of, as he did last inning of Josh Bro, kind of quick pitched him. That one misses outside. It's 2 and 1. That's way inside. It's 3 balls and 1 strike.
Verdugo, who scored the winning run in last night's ball game, he pinch ran and dug up second to third on a fly ball and then scored on a wild pitch.
3 balls and a strike to him. Drives this one straight away center field, not deep. Campos is there and he'll make the catch for out number 2. So that'll bring up Cade Fergus at the top of the order. Fergus flew out to right field his first time up. Now the rain's starting to fall a little bit again here at FirstEnergy Stadium. A couple umbrellas pop up.
Very light, though.
Yep.
More like a mist.
Yeah. So Fergus 3 for 14 now in this series. And the first pitch to him is a curveball for a strike.
So first time through the lineup, everyone on the video board was Buzz Lightyear. Now the second time through the lineup, everyone is going to be, I guess, Woody.
I guess.
If judging that Kate Fergus dresses Woody is any indication.
He looks very happy to be Woody. That's over for a called strike. Not so happy now. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Fergus now will call time. Aiden Miller in the on-deck circle if Fergus can reach. Pena winds and delivers his 0-2 pitch. Lifts it straight up. Foul territory, and it's going to drift behind the backstop and out of play. Fergus still alive at no balls and 2 strikes. Fergus with the defensive play of the game back in the first inning. Took extra base hit away from Jake Holton by skying to pull it off the wall. Kept the game scoreless. It's no balls and 2 strikes to him, and that was in the dirt. It's 1-2. And he's pretty much been Al Padrique's everyday center fielder. For the most part, he's their really only natural center fielder. Pineda, Mendez, Reyes, their other outfielders are all corner outfielders. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Fergus, and a swing and a miss. Strike 3 as Fergus goes down swinging, and the Phils go down in order in the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. 3 complete, still scoreless at FirstEnergy Stadium. We head to the top half of the 4th inning, and I've provided pretty much nothing, so Jake Starr now will take over play-by-play.
I'll try to provide a little bit more on the Reading side at least and over these next 4 innings. So thank you very much, Bob. Still scoreless, top 4, as Bob alluded to. And a reminder that every Tuesday, all active military and veterans receive $3 off box seats thanks to Burke's Oral Surgery and Dental Implant Center. Skies have opened up. There is rain coming down. As we're on to the 4th, Gene Cabrera back out. Tyron Lorenzo will lead things off. The designated hitter today will dig in from the left side. First pitch was a ball to Lorenzo. Cabrera gets it back. Next one home is outside again. 2 balls and no strikes with the changeup, 84 miles per hour. Lorenzo 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out swinging his first time up. And the 2-0 is swung on, and it's hit towards the right center field gap. Over goes Pineda. He'll let it fall in front of him for a base hit. He'll cut it off, so it's a leadoff single for Tyron Lorenzo. His first hit of the night. Erie's second. And that'll bring Jake Holton to the plate. Yeah, fastball pretty much center cut from Cabrera at 92. And was hit hard, 109 off the bat from Lorenzo. So Holton in from the right side, 0 for 1 in tonight's ball game. And Cabrera's first one home is a ground ball third. Backhanded under a backhand of Pinellas down the left field line, base hit. Reyes over to get it. Everybody is safe. The third goes Lorenzo. In the second with a double goes Holton. And it's a Well, we'll see what they rule it, whether it's going to be an error on Benelis or if it'll be a double. Nonetheless, though, it's runners on second and third. Still no outs for Justice Bigby.
Yeah, Benelis kind of sold himself out by diving for that ball. And it will be a double for Holton.
11th of the season for him.
But I think perhaps Benelis maybe trying to play that a little bit quicker than he could have. Didn't really get his body all that much in front of it. Tried to backhand it and slide all at once. Try to pop up and make a throw. And ultimately came up with nothing.
First pitch to Bigby's up and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Infield drawn up for the Fightin Phils. The runners get their leads off second and third. Miller and Benelis about halfway on the left side. Next pitch is swung on and fouled off to the right side. It's 1-1. Bigby 0 for 1 tonight. A ground out to second his first time up. You'd certainly take that right now with the infield drawn up. And Cabrera's 1-1. Swung on, ground ball short. Miller fields, spins, looks the runner back, fires the first in time. And that is out number 1. And that'll bring Roberto Campos to the plate. Nathan Miller, like he has pretty much all week, makes another nice defensive play.
Yeah, it was to his left, but again, playing at a normal shortstop spot, that's a routine play. But playing up as shallow as he was, it's a little bit more of a challenge. And, of course, he knew he had a runner at third base, but not a fast runner in Lorenzo, so he had no chance of going on a ball hit pretty crisply by Bigby.
So Campos up, infield still drawn up with the 1 out. And the first pitch, ground ball short again. Miller fields in the backhand. He'll come home, and it's underneath the glove of Josh Bro. No one is covering home. Now they are. Here's the throw to Cabrera. He is safe, and 2-run score. It wasn't a perfect throw by Aiden Miller, but it's one you'd argue that Bro probably should have had. And it results instead of a second out and 2 runs scored. And Erie leads it 2-0, and it might go down probably as an error on Miller, too.
Yeah, I kind of think that Bro, I'm going to watch the replay here. I thought Bro kind of swiped at it a little bit, almost like a first baseman trying to pick it rather than let it hit the mitt. I mean, Miller's throw was a one-hop or a short hop at that. It wasn't a great throw, but it is a throw that Bro probably should have handled. If he handles it, he's out by a mile. I'm really surprised he even broke for the plate.
First pitch is up at the belt for a strike. It's 0-1 to Chris Myers.
Sometimes you do that. You make the defense make a play on you, and ultimately it worked out for Erie.
There is an error on the board. It's probably going to be an E6.
Right, for sure.
0-1, swing and a miss. It's 0-2.
But it was made worse by the fact that they let the trail runner get around to score as well because Bro didn't get back and find it fast enough, and it allowed Holton to keep on coming around and scored both runs.
So 2-0 Erie, no balls, 2 strikes to Chris Myers. And the pitch home. Swing and a miss, struck him out. So Myers down on strikes, 5th K for Gene Cabrera. So yeah, so it's going to be a fielder's choice that Campos reaches on.
Right, so Campos will get an RBI.
Yeah, it's going to be a throwing error on Aiden Miller, so that's going to be the 9th error of the season on Miller. But it's hard to fault Miller on that play, as Alfonso's a batter of 2 outs. First pitch, ground ball through the hole, right side, base hit. Rounding third is Campos. He will score, and it's a 2-out RBI single for Eliezer Alfonso. And the SeaWolves now lead it 3-0.
Now that is something that Erie has done in this series that Reading has failed to do at a number of opportunities, which is to take advantage of the situation, and they get the extra run in. Not only does Campos end up at second base on the error, but then they add on to it with the base hit by Alfonso to plate that run as well, and so all of a sudden it becomes a 3-0 advantage for the SeaWolves.
So 3-0 Erie, 2 outs here in the inning. First pitch, Jim Jarvis swings in a high chopper to first. Anthony fields it, will touch the bag, and that'll retire the side here in the 4th. SeaWolves do score 3. They did it on 3 hits and a costly error, and there was 1 man left on base. Played 3.5. We'll go to the home half of the 4th with the SeaWolves on top, 3-0. Bottom half of the fourth inning, and Klein is proud to be the official transportation provider of the Reading Fightin Phils. Klein Transportation gets our Phils to all their road trips throughout the 2025 season. For more info, go to kleintransportation.com. So Fightin's with some work to do. They now trail at 3-0 here against Erie after the SeaWolves put up a trifecta of runs in the top half of the fourth inning. Now here in the bottom of the frame, Aiden Miller will lead things off. 2-3, 4-2 up against Carlos Pena, who's back out for inning number 4 of work. So Miller digs in from the right-handed batter's box, slightly open stance. Already 1 for 1 with a double in today's ball game. Line one to left center field gap back in the first. And the first pitch home is there for a called strike. Curveball from Pena, it's 0-1. Miller up to 245 on the season so far. It's been a good May for him. 0-1 is a breaking pitch, and it's 1-1, a bit inside. Pena winds and deals. Miller swinging a miss on another curveball. It's 1-2. Miller hitting .274 entering play today. Over 23 May games, 3 doubles, 3 home runs, along with 8 of his 12 runs driven in. And the 1-2. Miller swings and a ground ball foul off the facing of the third base dugout. It stays 1-2. Nobody away, bottom 4. 3-0 SeaWolves on top. And the pitch home, Miller swings and misses. Out in front of a changeup on a quick pitch from Pena. So Miller's down for the first time tonight, and it's the second strikeout for Pena, and that'll bring Keaton Anthony to the plate.
Mentioned that last inning about Pena, where he kind of staggers his delivery from time to time. He'll go with the high, deliberate leg kick, and more often than not, but then every once in a while he'll kind of go as he did there with Miller, kind of no leg kick at all, and it's more of a quick pitch.
First one to Keaton Anthony, swinging a line drive towards the right center field gap that is down for a base hit. It gets by the center fielder, Bigby, and it rolls all the way to the wall. Anthony cruised into second base for what will be his first hit of the night. We'll see if they give that a double or not, but nonetheless, Anthony does what he does best, and he swings the bat, right center field gap, and now he's standing on second base.
Not going to take it away from Mr. Doubles. He hits the ball in the gap in right center field. It's a double. The bigger problem would be as if it took a bad bounce and he ended up getting a triple out of it and screw everything up. I mean, he's Mr. Doubles. I mean, he has just peppered that spot so well. I mean, he started to mix it in a little bit more the left center field, but that is his stroke, and it's a great one.
Here is Felix Reyes. 1 out from the right side. First pitch, he'll take it up for a ball. It's 1-0.
To your point earlier about him.
It looks like it's going to be a single and an error.
Is it really?
I see a hit and an error put on the board. Yeah, a single and an error. That'll be an E9 on Bigby, his second of the season in right field. 1-0. Reyes swings and he pops it up. Short, shallow right. In a couple of steps is Justice Bigby, and he'll make justice for his last mistake and make that catch. And that is out number 2, and that'll bring Josh Bro to the plate for the Fightin Phils.
To your point about Keaton Anthony earlier and about where he kind of falls into things as his potential to move up within the organization. It's, you know, look, the home runs are the big sexy thing. That's the way the game of baseball is.
Especially at first base.
Absolutely. But if you can hit balls in the gap on a consistent basis, hitting line drives, look at Alec Bohm. I mean, that's kind of what his game is.
First pitch to Josh Bros a bit inside. It's 1-0.
And he's big enough, and he eventually will continue to get stronger enough that a lot of those are going to be home runs as the season goes along and as he gets older. But there's nothing wrong with hitting line drives in the gap.
Ball and no strikes to Josh Bros. 0 for 1 in tonight's ball game. Next pitch, swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Keaton Anthony gets the lead off second. He reached on a single and an error with 1 out in the inning. It's the second base runner Reading has had today. Both have reached scoring position, but they've been unable to get them home quite yet. Pena, the lefty, comes set at the letters. Checks Anthony, deals home. Bro swings and he fouls it. Got off of Alfonso. Looks like the catcher, Eliezer Alfonso's okay.
Yeah, I think
it's a ball and 2 strikes.
I think that was right off the mask. Home plate umpire Chase Eubanks will give him a minute.
So 1-2, 2 outs. Erie leads 3-0 here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Looks like the rain is pretty much let up at this point. The 1-2 is up and away to the righty Bro, 2-2. Bro, a couple of RBI. Does have a home run and a triple since joining Reading. 2-2, swing and a fly ball hit out towards left. Not deep. Myers in a step makes the catch, and that will retire the side here in the 4th. No runs. Reading did have a hit. There was an error, and 1 man is left on base. We played 4. Way to the 5th. Erie's on top. It is 3-0. Back here in the top half of the 5th inning, Cabrera's first pitch was a strike. Second pitch, ground ball to shortstop. Miller scoops it up, fires the first in time for out number 1. So Trey Cruz retired. Brings Carlos Mendoza up in a 3-0 game here in the top of the 5th, and we are very excited, and I think it's on cue that Aiden Miller made that first play of the inning, to be joined by the duo from the High Hopes podcast here in the ballpark tonight, Jack Fritsch, James Seltzer, also both from WIP. Guys, welcome. How's it going?
Jake, couldn't be happier to be here. And, of course, Aiden got the first ground ball. Baseball always finds you, Jake.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's a real thrill to hang out with the greatest alum of Ruston High School ever, is what I understand. So, a real thrill, Jake. Thank you for having us.
We are heating up as a high school.
Oh, I like
school,
that. Yes. I like that you turned it into a we there.
Hey, I'm a we guy, not a me guy.
It was good work by you. Yes, one time Jack called me the guy he does the podcast with. So, yeah, so it's good.
Just make sure you don't ruin Jake's play-by-play.
2 balls.
He's doing a big
We're okay.
You're right.
2 balls, no strikes to count here to Carlos Mendoza. Gene Cabrera will fire the next pitch home. That's swung and popped up. George shallow right. Back goes Verdugo in Pineda. Verdugo will drop it off his glove. And in the second base will go Carlos Mendoza. So probably going to be an error on Verdugo. Would be his 6th of the year. So I want to go back to the first pitches because
do we have to?
Well, somebody I saw tweeted about the first pitches, calling somebody else out
very quickly.
But your first pitch, Jack.
Thank you. See, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think it was the best in the world.
No, he whipped it in there and it went under the kid's legs. Honestly, it threw me off because I was like, I feel bad. He just whipped it at this kid. I was all tentative after.
Yep.
You know?
Way to turn that around on you.
See, thank you.
First pitch to Lorenzo was a ball 1-0.
So here's the story, is that I saw the kid, and I knew I couldn't throw it as hard as I possibly could. I put a little sinker on it, and it went right by him. It happens.
It did, yeah.
It happens to the best of us. So wasn't the best showing by Seltzer.
Horrible.
If we had,
I got no excuse. It's a bad job.
if we had an,
I'm blaming Jack.
If we had a catcher out there or another player,
I agree with that.
They catch it in perfect ease. Yeah, too much sink is what we're saying.
1-1 is a ground ball foul. So it is an error on Verdugo. So man on second, 1 out. So if we go back, I don't know what, 13 years, Ruston High School baseball. Everything Mitch Hoffman, pitching coach, taught you.
Sure.
Sure.
We'll go with that story.
Yeah.
I was my own pitching coach.
Okay.
But yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a real, like you said, a team player.
Yep.
You know,
No.
listen to his coaches.
So I'm actually so old that Mitch Hoffman was the JV coach. So Brian Lindros.
We can't be doing a year-old thing. I can't
it was
get
13
down
years
with
ago.
that.
First team all Chestnut.
That's a lot better. I was first team all bench on Chestnut.
That's very nice.
You had a much more successful career at Ruston than I did. 1-2 count to Lorenzo, 1 out. So you guys are back here for the first time in 6-7 years since you guys were last out here. How's the night been so far?
It's been awesome. Like what a cool ballpark. I haven't been here since they added the complex in Centerfield. It is awesome. Like what a neat way to watch a baseball game. It's so beautiful and just a really great park. And Aiden's been flashing some leather, ripping a double earlier. You know, it's been it's a really great place to come out and watch a baseball game.
1-2 is a ground ball in and out of the glove of Keaton Anthony, but he sticks with it. And the defending Gold Glover is able to get it to first base. So out number 2, Mendoza to third. And that'll bring Jake Holton to the plate here in a 3-0 ball game in the 5th.
I'm starting to get pretty excited about Keaton Anthony. I'm going to be honest. I mean, a little Reese Hoskins vibe from him. I think it's
that's a name to bring up today.
It is.
I know, right?
It is.
Needling us there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seems like a decent name to maybe trade for. But the I love this ballpark. It is about as it's so minor league baseball. It's so perfect. Walking through the concourse in the back before the game, it's just it brings all the feels of baseball, and it's such from a family aspect, you couldn't find a better place.
First pitch to Holton is a strike. It's 0-1. So you guys got a big group out there tonight over in Green Box 9. We're having a pretty fun time over there too. Next pitch fouled off 0-2.
Yeah, well, thankfully the rain, I think, is calming down a little bit.
Thank goodness.
So everyone will be back in their seats. We got about 120 people out here. Obviously here to root on the Fightin' Phils, but everyone knows we're here for our boy Aiden.
That's right.
Yep.
We had someone come from Williamsport.
Wow.
For this. Yeah, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, it's we can't believe anyone ever comes anywhere for anything we do. So it's pretty neat to have people come out for something like this. And what a fun night. Like, it's much easier to say, hey, come watch a baseball game with us at a cool stadium. It's a pretty easy sell. So
Holton fouled off the 1-2. So we got 1-2, 2 outs, top 5. 3-0 Erie on top. Jake Starr joined by the High Hopes podcast duo and also WIP's Jack Fritsch, James Seltzer on this Saturday evening here at the ballpark. So Toy Story uniforms. Are any of you Toy Story? Are any of the kids big Toy Story fans?
So I have a Jack is a big takesman. I actually have a Toy Story related take.
Oh boy!
I think Toy Story 3 is the best animated movie of all time ever made. All of them, and I'm a big animated movie fan. Toy Story 3, the best animated movie ever made. So there you go.
I don't have that hot of a take, but of course I am a Toy Story man, and I am looking forward to Walker and eventually Sutton getting into it. I think what is old is new again. Like
Totally.
Me and Walker watch Winnie the Pooh every single morning. I mean, you kidding me?
Yeah, we were just watching Willy Wonka. Was the
original
She's like,
one?
yes,
Original or the
the
second?
original.
Nice.
I couldn't believe it. She's like, yeah, I want to watch the girl turn into a blueberry. I was like, oh, okay,
Hey,
we can do that.
Innings over. Shut your mouth.
2-2, swing and a miss. You guys want to stick around for the bottom of the frame?
I'm
course,
down.
yeah.
Sure,
Let's do it.
yeah.
All right, so Erie, no runs in the inning. They do leave a man. We will head to the home half of the 5th. Fightin' Phils trail it 3-0. Bottom half of the 5th inning, 3-0. Fightin' Phillies trail it against Erie. Carlos Pena, who's been strong so far tonight for the SeaWolves, back out for inning number 5 of work. Alex Pinellas will lead things off for Reading. 6, 7, and 8 due up here for the Fightin' Phillies. Jake Starr, if you're just joining us, joined by the High Hopes podcast duo of James Seltzer and Jack Fritz. First pitch to Pinellas, the ball, it's 1-0. And also, of course, WIP's own. They're out here at the ballpark tonight, of course. Seeing their guy, Aiden Miller, who I saw you guys had a chance to say a quick hello to right around first pitches.
Yeah, that was funny. He, kind of spotted us. Obviously, we didn't, stand right outside the dugout. And then...
And we've had him on the pod before, so he's seen us before. It wasn't like he actually knew who we were otherwise.
Disagree.
You know?
Disagree.
Okay,
Pretty sure we're best
Tell
friends.
yourself what you want.
Yeah.
1-1.
Atta
Pinellas, a
guy.
line drive down the
Nice.
right field line towards the corner and the wall. Pinellas turns first, heads to second. He will head to third. Al Patrique waving him. Bigby throw towards third is way offline, and it's a triple for Alex Pinellas, his first in a Fightin' Phil's uniform.
Man, between him and Seth Beer, I'm excited about some old draft prospects.
Old draft
Oh, yeah.
prospects.
That's what
Draft
we love.
beer. Look at that. See
Yeah,
what he did there?
exactly right.
Pinellas out of Louisville in 21. Seth Beer, recent addition to the art, both recent additions to the art Phils. Paul McIntosh, I'm sure you can tell me how they got him.
Of course, he was in the Hayes Luzardo trade.
Wow, look
Who-
at you.
We don't need to speak about today.
We're not talking about
Now,
Today didn't happen.
it. We're
Today, yeah.
watching the Reading Phillies right now.
first pitch to McIntosh, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. So a lot of people excited about Aiden Miller, and I think for rightful reasons. I mean, for you guys specifically, I know as fans, but also as people who just watch a lot of baseball, what's it about Aiden that has you saying this guy could be something really good down the road?
Yeah, so I think there's a couple things.
McIntosh ground ball short, Cruz fields, looks to runner back, spins, throws the first in time. That's out number 1.
One, I mean, it's hard to just say he has the look, but he kind of just has the look. He's a big kid. By the way, plays a better shortstop than I thought.
Me too, man.
I think a lot of people when
He's
he's
quicker. His reflexes out there. His reaction is quick, man.
not bad, and I think a lot of people thought he was going to be a third baseman. Whatever, he has proven that he's really good at shortstop. So I think one, he has the look. I think two,
Pineda's swinging a fly ball center. Campos doesn't have to move much. He'll make the catch. Pinellas tags. He'll score. So a sac fly from Pineda, and that makes it a 3-1 ball game.
a super mature approach. I mean, if you watch the at bats, feels like he gets 3-2 almost every single time. Now I think eventually as he progresses and gets more comfortable, he'll start jumping on some pitches earlier in counts. But I think a mature approach, he hits the ball super hard. Last night was what, 115 off the bat?
114, 413 feet.
Yeah. So
hardest ball he's hit all year.
So he has that. I just think mature approach-wise, power-wise, bat to ball, you don't want to say the kid's a total package, but I think as he gets more comfortable, as he gets a little bit older, he's only going to get better and better.
I've been impressed with him off the field, too, just the demeanor, the maturity. I mean, we had him on the podcast. We've had a lot of prospects along the way, you guys who made it to majors, did whatever on the pod over the years, and the vast majority of them are really bad at talking into a microphone. Like, honestly, it's just a tough listen. You're asking what they're giving one-word answer. Aiden was polished and together, and it kind of leaped off the screen in a way that it doesn't with others. So it feels like it's just a maturity across the board with him.
Verdugo fouls the 0-2 back, so we got no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Luis Verdugo. Running already a run here in the inning. And I mean, everything you guys say, as someone who's around Aiden every day, it's spot on because the makeup of a great ball player, but also a great person and very, very well spoken. And I mean, he's not even 12, he'll be 21 next week. So
Which is crazy.
People forget how young I think. He's one of the
Totally.
youngest players in this league.
Yes, yeah. and
Verdugo ground ball fielded by Pena. He'll take to the bag himself, route number 3.
Just to be this age at this level is impressive, period. Forgetting everything else,
So Fightin' Phillies do get a run in the inning. Jack and James, any final thoughts before we let you guys go?
We're here for Aiden. There will be a roll call at some point in the final couple of innings here.
I love this.
And
Good.
we'll make sure our presence is known for the Reading Fightin' Phillies crowd.
And Jake, as someone who knows a Rustin grad, I'm just appreciative to get to hang with a true Rustin great.
Yeah.
Heard so much about this school, to meet someone like you is a real honor. So
Any sort
Thanks,
of Reading theme, top 5 at 5 coming this week?
Oh, well, given that Seltzer
yeah,
gave it
I'm
all
definitely gonna be the subject of it, as always. Jack loves to find ways to take shots at me any way he can. whether it's my voice, whether it's whatever. Like, all I do is defend him, and then I'll go on the radio and be like, "Oh, I'm James!" And it's really great. It's really great. It's friendship. Is
Listen,
what it is.
you threw a worm burner, it will be addressed.
It's friendship.
Well,
Friendship.
Jack and James, thanks so much for the time. You can catch them on the High Hopes podcast. You can catch James 6 to 10 a.m. You can catch Jack 2 to 6 p.m. on WIP. Guys, once again, really appreciate the time tonight.
Thanks, Jake. We
Thanks,
appreciate
Jake.
it, man.
Step aside for a moment. Fightin Trail 3-1. Top of the 6 up next. Top of the 6th inning, Fightin Phillies on top. It's 3-1. Jake Starr, Bob McCorby joining myself here in just a couple of moments. Once again, a big thank you to James Seltzer and Jack Fritz, who are in the ballpark here tonight, for joining us here on the broadcast for the 5th inning. And Gene Cabrera is back out on the mound for inning number 6 of work for him. He's at 78 total pitches. And it'll be Justice Bigby who leads things off here for the SeaWolves. First pitch a strike, it's 0-1. Do owe you some reads. This inning is presented by Cornwall Manor, a unique and charming community nestled on a 190-acre wooded campus with many walking trails, including the Lebanon County Rail Trail. No balls, 2 strikes. We also owe you an alumni report presented by Deer Country. We'll get to that here in a couple of moments. Also established in 1928, the Manor Golf Club is one of the oldest public courses in eastern PA, located between Philly, Lancaster, and Allentown in Sinking Spring. 0-2, ground ball, third, diving Vanellis under his glove, base hit. So that'll be a leadoff single for Justice Bigby. And that'll bring Roberto Campos to the plate. Manor Golf Club is a true test of golf on a championship-style course. Visit themanorgolfclub.com for more information. And our alumni report, too, Mick Abel, another strong day yesterday, 4 2/3, 8 strikeouts. 1 run, it was unearned, as Abel continues to look strong since his big league debut. First pitch is a strike to Campos. It's 0-1. So 3-1 Erie. Reading got one back last inning. Also, one scoring change of note. Keaton Anthony's single was changed to a double from a couple of innings ago. Next pitch is a ball. It's 1-1. So with that, Anthony retakes the Eastern League lead with his 19th double of the year. And he's also one shy of the Reading team lead last year in 20 from Robert Moore. 1-1 is low and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. Roberto Campos in today's ball game is 0 for 2. Skies have opened up again, and the rain is falling. 2-1 is swung on a fly ball towards right center, not deep. Pineda starts back, then the right fielder comes in, and he makes the catch for out number 1. That'll bring Chris Myers to the plate here. Yeah, Cabrera 85 pitches, trying to make it through 6 innings. Once again, would be the 3rd time this year he makes it through 6, and the first since May the 8th against Binghamton. And the first pitch here is swung on in a line drive foul. It's 0-1. Reading does have bullpen action. Mitch Noonborn is up and throwing for Reading. Pitch home is down. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. It's been on and off rain for the majority of the night so far. Pitch home is a line drive over the head of a leaping Verdugo in the right field base hit. Bigby had the freeze for a second, and he gets up to second base from first. So it's men on first and second one out, and here comes Al Padrique, and it looks like that might be the end of the night for Gene Cabrera here in the 6th. That was pitch number 88. So Al Padrique is out, still waiting for a point to the bullpen, and there it is. So Al Padrique takes the ball from Gene Cabrera, and that'll do it for the right-handed pitcher tonight after 5 1/3 innings pitched. We'll step aside for a moment. New pitcher coming in out of the Alvernia University bullpen. We'll have him for you after this. Still the top half of the 6th inning. 2-1 is our score. The Fightin Fails trail Erie of men on 1st and 2nd. Gene Cabrera is done for the night. Our new pitcher is in for Reading. It is Mitch Neumborn. And Bob, welcome you back in, and tell us a little bit more about Mitch Neumborn.
Making his 13th appearance of the season. The first 11 of his now, or 12 of his now 13 appearances out of the bullpen. He's 2-0 with a 2.55 earned run average, 24 2/3 innings pitched. Given up 15 hits, 7 earned runs, 29 strikeouts, and a very solid 4 walks given up.
Eliezer Alfonso, the first batter he'll face in a first pitch. A swing and a miss. It's 0-1.
Not sure how many times Neumborn has come into a situation as opposed to coming into a clean inning.
He's inherited 3 runners this year. None have scored in 24 2/3 innings pitched. 0-1 is swung on a fly ball to right. Pineda does not see it. Now he does, and it's gone. 3-run home run from Eliezer Alfonso. Makes it a 6-1 ball game. On Alfonso's first home run of the season. Ball that was hit a long way towards right. Looked like it almost jammed him at first, but he got enough barrel on it. And Erie leads 6-1.
Now the wind is still blowing, and it's been blown out to right field for sure. And it's really nobody really a surprise that it took us to the 6th inning before somebody really took advantage of that strong wind to right field. But off the bat, between the rain and the glare, whatever it was, Pineda never saw it. But by the time he finally picked it up, obviously it did not matter.
First pitch to Jim Jarvis is down for a ball. It's 1-0. That's a big home run in this game. Reading got one back last inning. Jarvis swings and misses. It's 1-1. Of course, Reading has shown the knack for comebacks this year, as recently as last night. Pitch home is there for a strike. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rain is coming down again. One out here, top 6. 6-1, Erie leads, and the pitch is down for a ball. It's 1-2.
Just look at the rain and the lights, and it is just
it looks going sideways.
Yeah, it is exactly right.
1-2, swing and a knuckler foul. And it'll stay 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jarvis, the 9-hitter tonight, 0 for 2. He's flown out and he is grounded out. He bats with 1 out here in the 6th. Neumborn, the righty, deals home. That is over for a called strike 3. First strikeout tonight for Mitch Newborn, 7th overall for Reading pitching. And we'll take a look at the final line for Gene Cabrera. It's 5 1/3, 6 hits, 5 runs, just 2 of them are going to end up being earned. And a walk and 6 strikeouts as Trey Cruz digs in. First pitch up for a ball, it's 1-0.
Yeah, all 3 runs in the 4th inning all end up being unearned
Unearned.
runs. So the line not going to look great, but it could have been a whole lot better.
1-0 is down. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Got hurt by his defense in that 4th inning. Could have been a different story if they made the play at the plate. And obviously all 3 of those runs unearned, and then didn't get a whole lot of help from his bullpen.
2-0. That's a curveball that he just lost. Not sure. Yeah.
Squirted right out of his hands. This gets back to what the situation was in the 9th inning last night, where we had some issues with the pitchers being able to grip the baseball. Tried to throw a curveball, and it just literally just squirted right out of his hands.
3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs to Trey Cruz. The pitch is outside for a ball 4. First walk issued by Newborn, which has been a rarity this year.
Yeah,
This
it's only
is
his
5th one
Yep.
allowed.
Yep.
And
It's a conversation now with Josh Breaux. Not quite sure what this is other than, I mean, again, we've talked about this, that Erie is not a team that that is about stealing bases. Wouldn't imagine that's going to change in a 6-1 game. If this has anything to do with Breaux just wanting to have a conversation about whether or not he could grip the baseball.
2 outs for Carlos Mendoza. Erie 3 runs here in the inning. First pitch to Mendoza is a ball down. It's 1-0. That's 5 straight balls now thrown by Mitch Newborn. 4 straight to Trey Cruz on a walk, and the first one to Carlos Mendoza. And the pitch home. Swing and a fly ball, deep right field. Pineda goes back, he'll leap, and it's over his head and gone. 2-run home run for Carlos Mendoza. That's his 3rd of the season. And that'll make it an 8-1 Erie lead as they have broken this game open with 5 runs here in the top half of the 6th inning.
Well, that's what walks we can do, and they become that much more dangerous. The 2-out walk, and then another fly ball that gets up in the tunnel that is a wind tunnel right now, just blowing as hard as it can possibly blow right now, straight out to right field. That's probably a routine fly ball, maybe to the warning track at best.
Next pitch is swung on a fly ball hit towards right, down the line. Pineda goes back, and it will go foul. Just to the right of the pool area in right field. It's 0-1.
Mentioned this at the beginning of the game, with including switch hitters. Erie stacked their lineup with 6 lefties tonight, and it's playing right into their hands right now.
0-1 is crushed. Right field, Pineda barely turns, and that one is gone. Tyron Lorenzo. And the SeaWolves go back-to-back on Lorenzo's 5th of the season, and it's a 9-1 ball game.
Rinse and repeat. Pitch right down the middle of the plate. Lorenzo turned and just crushed and hit it off the light pole in right field. And he and everybody else in the ballpark knew it from the moment he made contact with him. So Mitch Newborn has been really, really solid throughout this season for the Phils, and it has not been the case tonight.
He had given up just 2 home runs on the season entering tonight. It's been 3 this inning. First pitch to the ball to Holton. 3 in the last 5 hitters that Mitch Newborn has allowed. Next pitch is over for a called strike. It's 1-1. Ninth man to the plate this inning is Jake Holton. Next pitch is swung on a pop fly towards left center. Fergus is under it. The center fielder makes the catch, and that'll finally retire the side here in the 6th. Erie, though, gets 5 runs. They did it on 5 hits, including 3 home runs. There were no errors, and they leave none on base. Well, we have played 5.5 on in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Reading trails it 9-1. Bottom half of the 6th inning. This day in baseball town history is presented by Body Zone Sports and Wellness, the official workout facility of the Phils. May 31st, 2016, at Portland, Roman Quinn leads off the game with a home run and goes 3 for 5 with 3 RBI and 2 runs and a 6-4 wins over the Sea Dogs. Well, Reading's going to need a rally here to come back in this ball game. They trail it 9-1 here in the home half of the 6th inning. Jake Starr, Bob McCool here on the call. Appreciate you spending part of your Saturday night with us. Second to last game this week against Erie. Cade Fergus in. Carlos Pena, the pitchers. First pitch home is hair inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Fergus, nothing for 2 in tonight's ball game. Fly out to right and a strikeout. 1-0. Fergus watches a changeup, miss a bit up. It's 2-0. I mean, look, you're down 8. You got 4 at-bats to go. See if Reading can just find a way to start chipping away at some runs here. 2-0, Fergus. Big swing and a miss, and it's 2-1. Reading did score a run in the bottom of the 5th, which made it 3-1 at the time. But then Erie totally broke this game open with 6 runs last inning, including 3 home runs off of Mitch Noonborn. 2-1 is taken up for a ball. It's 3-1. Nelson Alvarez is up and throwing for the Fightin Phillies. Looks like he'll get the top half of the 7th inning. Pena just 67 pitches, so no action on the Erie side. 3-1. Fergus swinging a mile high pop fly into the infield. Left side, Cruz the shortstop's in. Home make the call and the catch, and that is out number 1. Fergus retired for the 3rd time tonight, and that'll bring Aiden Miller to the plate. Miller digs in from the right side, 1 for 2 in tonight's ball game. A double and a strikeout. Speaking of doubles, the Keaton Anthony double was switched, well, single with an error was switched to a double. First pitch to Miller is out for a ball. It's 1-0. So with that double, Anthony's now at 19 on the season.
Yeah, I thought that was the right call for sure. I thought it would have been a
1-0. Miller swings, hits it in the air, well, deep center field. Campos goes back though, and the center fielder has room, drifting towards the track in right center to make the catch. That's out number 2. Miller gave it a good ride. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up Keaton Anthony.
Yeah, but I mean, the play by Bigby, I mean, he tried to backhand the ball and it got by him to the wall, but I think that's should have been a double from the get-go, and rightfully so for Keaton Anthony.
So Anthony 1 for 2 tonight, 327 on the season. First pitch to him is a breaking pitch for a called strike. It's 0-1. Just going to have to rename the right center field gap to Anthony's Alley. Ashburn's Alley, Anthony's Alley.
Fair enough.
0-1, Anthony swinging a topped over, ground ball short. 3 hops for a charging Cruz. Field, shortstop short of first in time. And the Fightin Phils go down quietly here in the 6th. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. We will head to the top of the 7th with Erie on top. It is 9-1. Top half of the 7th inning is presented by White Star Travel, the official group sponsor of the Reading Fightin' Phils. Visit whitestartours.com for more. So Erie leads at 9-1, 5, 6, 7 due up. There's a new pitcher in out of the Alvernia University Golden Wolves bullpen for Reading. It's Nelson Alvarez, third arm of the night.
Alvarez making his 16th appearance of the season. That is now tops on the Fightin' Phils. He's 1-1 with a 5.51 earned run average, 16 and a third innings pitched. He's given up 15 hits, 10 earned runs, 20 strikeouts, just 7 walks. A little bit of a difference for Alvarez to come in this spot in a 9-1 game, but I guess it was just a matter of trying to get him some work because he has not pitched for a few days.
So here's Justice Bigby. First pitch is a ball, 1-0.
Alvarez had kind of assumed some high leverage spots for this team and had closed a couple of games of late.
Yeah, he pitched on Tuesday
Right.
against the Erie in that 1-0 morning win. 1-0 is been up, 2 balls, no strikes. Being intrigued to see how Reading bridges tomorrow. Will Crow's expected to start. He went 3 on Tuesday, so you got to think that the hope is he gets another inning. And then from there, we'll kind of see what they do. Noonborn was that bridge guy in the middle on Tuesday. He's pitched tonight, so he's probably unavailable. 2-0 missed outside. It's 3 balls and no strikes.
Well, they got good innings last night out of both McCullum and Kuhn. They got 2 innings out of each of them last night, so they obviously could be a big piece of the mix.
Next pitch is a strike. It's 3-1. Yeah, I mean, Reading's last 3 wins, the bullpen's been a big reason why they won those games. Sunday, they held Portland before the comeback. Tuesday was pretty much a wire-to-wire 1-0 victory. 3-1 is their first strike on the outside corner, 3-2 to Bigby. And then yesterday was the same situation as Sunday, pretty much held the SeaWolves bats at check to leave the window open for the comeback victory. And over those last 3 games, 14 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts. So they've been good when needed to be good the most as of late. And I think that's been a big reason for the May turnaround. 3-2, swing and a miss. Good job by Alvarez. Started down 3-0, works back to strikeout Bigby. First strikeout for Alvarez. That'll bring Roberto Campos to the plate.
And it's been again, they're not a whole lot different from a lot of teams, but it's been a turnstile out there as well in terms of players coming in, players going out, as they try to find some arms that can help them as this season goes along.
First pitch to Campos, up and in, it's 1-0.
And one of those guys, Daniel Harper, is getting a little bit closer to coming back. I think they expected him to be a major piece of the puzzle in the bullpen coming into this season.
Yeah, he began a rehab today with Clearwater, so that's a good sign. 1-0's up, 2 balls, no strikes. Griff McGarry pitched 2 scoreless innings for Clearwater earlier this week, so this looks like he's starting to work his way back up. But the unfortunate news, though, is Aberson Castellano went back on the injured list after just 1 appearance back here in Reading. 2-0 is on the outside corner, 2-1.
Yeah, so you got to think that it's going to be a much longer stint this time around, just if nothing else, out of precautionary situation for Castellano. And, of course, Moises Chasse, who is now done for the year.
Swing and a fly ball towards right. Pineda in a couple of steps, then goes back as the wind got a hold of that one. So Campos flies out to right for the second straight at bat. There's 2 outs in the inning for Chris Myers.
It's been an adventure for Pineda in right field tonight, battling all kinds of elements and distance. He's also had a wall in his way a couple of times.
So Myers the batter. And you speak of May, Reading, if they are to come back and win tonight, they'll finish May with a winning record. And if not, you're 13-14 for the month, which first pitch is down for a ball 1-0. Which, look, after going 6-14 in April,
right,
I think you're pretty happy with playing pretty much about 500 baseball here in May.
Yeah, there's definitely an improved product for sure.
1-0 is swung on a miss 1-1, and it's been a more fun product too to watch. And I think you can tell that the team has really kind of gelled this month. A lot of the guys who were more raw to this level become more comfortable, and you can just tell by just the way the group has been on and off the field. 1-1's outside, 2-1.
Yeah, and they've added some pieces to the puzzle as well that help along the way with some guys that can help them, give them a little bit more of a veteran experience, and hope that some other guys will get back.
Pitch is outside, 3 balls and 1 strike to Chris Myers.
But you were looking at a very ominous start to the season and a bleak outlook, so you needed to get some kind of a spark in here to turn things around.
Pitch swinging a fly ball hit towards deep right center. Fergus back, he turns and he'll play it off the wall of the Renner's Event Center. He plays it well. He wanted to throw to second, but they were setting up the cutoff to third, and that's where the throw goes. So it is a 2-out double for Chris Myers, his 8th of the season and his 2nd hit tonight.
Well, right now there's a conversation going on between Luis Verdugo and Aiden Miller, because Verdugo, who's playing second base for the first time, not sure where to go on there. He should have been at second. Miller's the cutoff man, and they were both kind of with each other. So that is the reason why Fergus looked to second. Nobody was there, so he threw it to Miller, and they were both in the same area. So there's a little bit of a conversation as to where he's supposed to be on that cutoff. And it ultimately leads to no difference because it was a double for Myers off the bat, and that's where he stands.
First pitch to Alfonso. He takes it for a ball 1-0. But I think with Fergus's arm, he played that quite well off the wall. He knew, okay, I'm not going to make that catch. He sat back, played it well, and he was ready to gun the runner at second.
Correct.
Fergus does have a couple of outfield assists this year. Next pitch is swung on and yanked foul down the right field line. It's 1-1.
I mean, these guys are just raring back right now and trying to lift the
Especially
ball.
the lefties.
Absolutely. That's what I said. They've got 6 guys with switch hitters, 6 guys batting from the left-hand side of the plate, and they are just raring back right now, high leg and everything that they can to try to lift the ball up in the air to right field.
Alfonso 3 for 3 tonight. He's a triple shy of the cycle, and he homered in his last at-bat. The pitch, swing and a miss, 1-2.
And that's what you need to do. Great curveball there by.
Pulled the string.
Exactly right. Pulled it way out in front of it. Again, they're high, as I just said, they're high leg and everything, trying to lift the ball up in the air and drive it. You got to throw off their timing.
1-2, 2 outs here in the 7th. 9-1 Erie leads as Chris Myers leads off of second base. Alvarez's pitch home is swung on a topper towards first. Anthony on a backhand fields in the hole, throws to Alvarez covering the bag, and Anthony throws it away. And a hit off the glove of Alvarez. Back towards the backstop. Scoring is Myers. Up to second goes Alfonso. And that'll likely just be an E3 on Anthony. And makes it a 10-1 ball game.
This is adding insult to injury. I mean, Keaton Anthony's as good of a first baseman as you're going to find. Gold glove first baseman, but he just threw that away. I mean, he threw it too far out in front of Alvarez. It's something you practice all the time. And he had the time. You got a catcher running in Alfonso. You had plenty of time, and he just threw it too far out in front of Alvarez, and not only can Alvarez make the play, but it gets away from him, allows a run to score.
First pitch is swung on and it's popped up. Behind home plate, Bro ditches the mask towards the on-deck circle on the third base side, and home make the basket catch for out number 3 to retire this side. In the inning, there was a run. It was unearned, and there was 1 hit. There was a costly error, and 1 man is left on base. We will head to the home after the 7th. It's time to stretch here from FirstEnergy Stadium with the Fightin' 'n' 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 'n Bottom half of the 7th inning is brought to you by Swartz Culleton PC. Have you or a loved one been injured? Get justice. Call Swartz Culleton today at 1-800-JUSTICE. So 10-1 Erie leads in this home half of the 7th inning. New pitcher is in for the SeaWolves. It is the righty arm, Matt Merrill.
Merrill making his first appearance in this series, I think. I don't remember him coming in the series. His 13th appearance overall. He's 1-2 with a 2.16 earned run average. 16 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up just 8 hits, 5 runs, only 4 of them earned, 23 strikeouts. He has walked 13, however. Not giving up a home run as well.
So Felix Reyes leads things off here against Merrill, who relieves Carlos Pena, who was excellent tonight. 6 innings, 3 hits. The runner was there, no walks, and just 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, and Merrill has not pitched in this series.
So Reyes in from the right side, and the first pitch to him is swung on and missed. It's 0-1. And Pena hasn't been a strikeout guy this year. He had just 28 and 31 2/3 entering tonight. Now we're looking at 30 and 37 2/3, so that ratio grows a bit. 0-1. Reyes will take it down and away, 1-1.
No, but he's really changed in terms of his strikeouts to walk ratio from a year ago. Last year it was 99 strikeouts, 44 walks. Now with what he's done tonight, it's 30 strikeouts and 7 walks.
1-1 is down 2-1, and it almost feels like it's become a lost art in baseball, right? Everyone gets so fixated on velocity and how many strikeouts you're getting. The guy like Pena, who can just pitch the contact, get weak outs, get guys out, and be efficient is really important. Reyes swings at a 2-1 way up high. It's 2-2.
It's the art of throwing strikes. If you can't throw strikes, you can't have success in this game. It doesn't matter how hard you can throw it.
There's a guy by the name of Jamie Moyer.
Yep.
Made a career off throwing balls that I don't know if they ever got over 90 miles an hour. 2-2. Reyes swings and fouls. Won a World Series, by the way.
Yeah, he did. Made a very long career out of the game of baseball. Pitched well into his 40s.
You got to think the fact that he wasn't a hard thrower probably played into that longevity.
Sure.
Easier on the elbow long term. 2-2. Reyes tried to check. They'll appeal. No swing, says first base umpire Alex Shears. And that makes it a 3-2 count, as it looks like the rain has started again. It's more of a mist. It's like when you have the garden hose out and you're like twisting it to the different modes. It's on mist mode right now, not shower. 3-2 is up. Reyes able to hold his swing. They will appeal. Alex Shears says no swing, so he's aboard via the walk. First walk issued by SeaWolves pitching tonight. That'll bring Josh Bro to the plate.
If he didn't go around in the last pitch, he certainly didn't go around on that pitch.
Yeah, the last one was a lot closer than this one.
That was barely off his shoulder this time. Now look, Erie's rubbed your nose in it a little bit in this game so far tonight, including Carlos Pena. There was a little bit of something going on a couple of days ago going off the field.
First pitch to Bro, swing and a miss. It's 0-1.
Luis Verdugo made the last out of the 5th inning on a one-hopper back to the pitcher's mound, and I'm not going to say he taunted him because I can't really hear what he was saying, but he was kind of jogging with him down the first baseline, and then the dugout for the Phillies didn't react very kindly to it, so Pena started jawing with them.
0-1. Bro takes it on the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-2.
And then they come back in the next inning, and they pound the ball over the ballpark and put a 6 spot on you, so Erie's going to play the bully tonight. Let's see if the Phillies have a little fight back in them.
Bro swinging a foul ball. It'll track out a play foul to the right side, and it'll stay no balls and 2 strikes.
And even if the deficit is too much for tonight's game, at least show the fight that maybe carries into tomorrow. Because if nothing else, you at least still have a chance to come out of this series with a split if you don't come back in this one.
The 0-2. Bro swings and a fly ball towards right. Back goes Bigby towards the track, and it will stay in the yard because, of course, it does. And that is out number 1. Bro retired, and that'll bring Alex Pinellas to the plate.
And that just wasn't hit all that well, but it still got it to the warning track. I think on a normal night, that's a fly ball that's probably 5 to 6 feet in front of the warning track, and that one got Bigby all but to the fence. But that's what you're looking to do right now, and that's what, if you're Pinellas, That's what you need to do. You need to do exactly what Erie tried to do. Time it up. Try to drive it up in the air.
First pitch to Alex Pinellas, the ball. It's 1-0. Pinellas 1 for 2 tonight. Did triple his first time up. Was his first triple with Reading this season. Just the 5th triple Reading has hit on as a team in this game number 48 of the season. 1-0 is a strike. It's 1-1. Noah Phillies hit more than one triple this year. So why not change that now?
Well, you hit it in a perfect spot the last time. You just pulled it down the first baseline, and you can run for a while.
Here's the 1-1 is there for a strike. It's 1-2. Top of the zone with a changeup from Matt Merrill. Pinellas, newer addition to this Fightin' Phil's team. He was our guest on tonight's pregame show. He'll also join us on Tuesday night from Harrisburg. 1-2 is just south of the knees for a ball. 2-2, Alfonso tried to frame that up for the home plate umpire, Chase Eubanks. If it was last night, you would have had to wait a couple of seconds to see if it was going to be a strike 3 or not.
Also true.
2-2. Swinging a ground ball towards second. Jarvis Fields flips to second for 1. Relay from Cruz to first is in time. That's a 4-6-3. Inning-ending double play. Well, in the inning, no runs to the Fightin' Phils, no hits, no errors, and nobody is left on base. We played 7 full. We will head to the 8th with the Fightin' Phils down 10-1. Top half of the 8th inning, 10-1. The Fightin' Phils trail Erie. Nelson Alvarez back on in this 8th, and to take over on play-by-play and take us home the rest of the way, it's Bob McCool.
All right, thank you very much, Jake Starr. Alvarez back out for his 2nd inning of work. He's trying to carry the torch a little bit for the Fightin' Phils. Jersey's Mike Subs offers a sub above with delicious fresh options, including warm and cold subs, freshly baked bread, and freshly sliced meats. Visit their 2 Berks County locations, 5th Street Highway in Reading and Berkshire Square in Wyomissing. Order today at jerseymikes.com. Jersey Mike Subs is a proud 2025 Fightin' Phil's team feed partner. Trey Cruz leads it off for the Erie SeaWolves against Alvarez and takes the first pitch down low for a ball. Cruz batting for the 5th time in this game, walked and scored his last time, up 0 for 3 officially, and takes another one from Alvarez down low. It's 2-0. Alvarez, 26-year-old right-hander, will turn 27 on June the 11th. Originally drafted by the New York Yankees. Traded by the Tampa Bay Rays to the Phillies last year as Cruz finds himself now in a 2-1 count. Coming up empty on the 2-0 pitch. And it's now 3-1 as Alvarez misses inside. 10 runs on 10 hits for the SeaWolves. They have not committed an error. Fightin' Phils with just 1 run on 3 hits. They've committed 3 errors. 3 balls and a strike to Cruz. Swing and a miss. It's 3-2. So far through 7 innings of ball, the game has been kind of like the weather. Cold, miserable, and wet. But A lot of Hardy faithful fans have stuck around because they've got Mega Blast fireworks on their mind, waiting for that to come about when this one ends. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Trey Cruz. The appeal, he did not go around. That's ball 4, and Cruz becomes a base runner for the second straight time, and both of them by way of walks. First walk for Alvarez since coming on in the 7th. Gene Cabrera started it. Probably deserved a better fate than what he had. He wasn't great, but his numbers could have been a little bit better. His defense didn't help him, and then his bullpen kind of lit a little gas on it as Mitch Newtonborn came on and gave up 3 long balls. As Carlos Mendoza, who had 1 of those 3 home runs, now bats. Mendoza 1 for 3 on the night. He's been on base 3 out of the 4 times. He's also walked and was safe on 1 of the 3 Fightin' Phil's errors. 1-0 pitch to him. Big swing again, comes up empty. Said it before, I'll say it again. I mean, that's what Erie is doing right now. They are just swinging for it all right now, trying to, with all these left-handers they've got in the lineup, just to try to load up and just get the ball up in the air and let Mother Nature sail it out towards Center Avenue. 1-1 pitch. Hits this one on the ground, past Anthony into right field for a base hit. Cruz will go around second base. He'll get the third easily as Mendoza gets his second hit of the night. 11th hit of the game for the SeaWolves. Cruz now at third base with Mendoza at first. Runners at the corners and nobody out for Tyron Lorenzo. Lorenzo 2 for 4 on the night, singled in the 4th and scored, and then hit a solo home run after Mendoza's 2-run home run in that 6-run 6th inning. So he is 2 for 4 on the night and 3 for 10 now in the series. And the first pitch to him is there for a called strike 1. So Cruz runner at third, he walked. Mendoza at first, he singled. Phil's infielder back, hoping for a double play ball. And Lorenzo, another big swing, comes up empty. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Pineda in right field playing Lorenzo, the left-hand hitter, well off the line in right field. 0-2 pitch is into dirt. Good block by Josh Bro. Keeps the runners at their respective bases. One-two pitches again in the dirt. It's 2-2. Alvarez about to throw his 34th pitch since coming on. The 2-2 pitch is driven into left field. Reyes going back to the track, spins around. Did he make the catch? He did. Cruz will tag up and score easily, but Felix Reyes spinning around in a circle ends up making the catch. Cruz will tag and score with the 11th run, but an out is recorded. Sacrifice fly and an RBI for Lorenzo, his second RBI of the night. And what turns out to be an acrobatic but ultimately good catch by Felix Reyes. Ball up in the wind and spinning him around in a circle. And now it looks like that's going to be the end of the night for Nelson Alvarez. Al Padrique out. He'll take the ball. He'll make the call to the bullpen, and we'll tell you about it when we come back to FirstEnergy Stadium after this. The Everett University Golden Wolves call. The bullpen has been made. Right-hander Jack Dallas now comes on to be the fourth pitcher of the night for the Fightin' Phils.
Yeah, 12th appearance for Dallas, first in a week. He was on the development list until today. 12th appearance, 5.30 ERA, 18 2/3 innings pitched, 18 strikeouts, and 6 walks.
So a runner at first base now and 1 out after the sacrifice fly from Lorenzo brings Cruz home. So Mendoza now the runner at first base with 1 out, and Jake Holton now is the hitter. And the first pitch from Dallas to Holton is over for a called strike. Holton 1 for 4 on the night with a double and a run scored. This one lifted into left center field. Going to be a long run for Reyes, but he'll get there and squeeze it for out number 2.
Bit of a easier route, I'd say, there for Felix Reyes than the last one. He's made some nice defensive plays the last couple. I don't know what the last one, not a great route, but still made the play. But he's made some nice defensive plays the last few nights.
He made a much more direct route to that one, that's for sure. Although the other one was a lot closer to him. He just spun around a couple different times, but ultimately made the catch. And that'll bring Justice Rigby to the plate. Bigby 1 for 4 on the night with a single and a run scored. Tried to check his swing, but hit the bat, went straight back to the backstop. So 2 outs now here in this top half of the 8th inning. 11-1 SeaWolves on top. Reyes played third base the other night, and again,
made some nice plays.
Doesn't look spectacular there, but ball was in the glove when it was over with, and that's the idea. That bat's going to carry him. As another foul ball off the bat of Bigby, this time finds the first base bleachers. It's quickly no balls and 2 strikes now to Justice Bigby. Mendoza takes his lead off of first. They don't bother holding him on with a 10-run difference on the scoreboard. And the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will bring the top half of the 8th inning to an ending for the SeaWolves in the 8th. 1 run, they did it on 1 hit. There were no errors, and there was 1 man left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. It's now 11-1, Erie on top. Matt Merrill back out to work in this bottom half of the 8th inning. Due up for the Fightin' Phils, it'll be Paul McIntosh, Leandro Pineda, and Luis Verdugo. That is 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Phils. Fightin' Phils and SeaWolves tomorrow, 5:15 first pitch. Will Crow scheduled to pitch for the Phils. Garrett Burhan to pitch for the SeaWolves. Same 2 pitchers who started Game 1 of this series. Burhan, the hard luck loser in that first game. The 1-0 Phils win. McIntosh 0 for 2 so far in the ballgame. Lined out to second base and grounded out to short in his 2 plate appearances. Now an issue for Alfonso, the catcher.
Is it a glove issue?
Oh, he's taking it off. I don't know if
new glove coming out.
Webbing.
Just wonder how many gloves, bats, all these guys bring with on road trips.
Good question. So I've seen teams, most of these teams come with 2 buses.
One for all the regular equipment,
yes.
and one for all the backup equipment.
Yeah, I would imagine a lot of that has to
And
do with it.
suitcases have to go somewhere too, but it's not that important. You're here most of the time.
Yeah, and you're wearing, they give you a uniform. First pitch to McIntosh, drives this one straight away right center field, but it's going to hold up for Bigby and make the catch at the warning track. So the Phillies fly balls to right are ended up at the warning track, and the SeaWolves have ended up on the other side of the fence.
Yeah, it's just one of those nights where when you get it in the air, just feels the wind dies down a little bit. When they get it in the air, the wind pushes out a little bit.
So 1 out for Leandro Pineda. Pineda 0 for 1. He drove in the Phil's run with a sacrifice fly back in the 5th inning. I mentioned this at the time. I'm curious. Leandro Pineda's got 10 RBIs on the season. I'll bet you at least half of those are sacrifice flies.
Yeah, that's a good point. He had 3 at Somerset back in April in a series. I don't remember if I still have that exact number. In my notes.
That was his 4th. So 4 of his 10 RBIs are sacrifice flies. Nothing wrong with that. It's 2-0 to him right now. Swing and a miss at this one. It's 2-1. Another healthy cut from Pineda, and that would get off either the mask or the top of the helmet of Alfonso. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Leandro Pineda with 1 out here in the 8th. That's up high, ball 3. It's 3-2. We're going to look at our Fightin' Phil's team leaders presented by the Pennsylvania Army National Guard. We already kind of mentioned that the last time out with Nelson Alvarez coming in. He's now the Fightin' Phil's team leader in appearances. With his appearance tonight, was in his 16th game as Pineda takes that one outside for a ball and walks. So the second walk given up by Merrill. He walked Reyes to start the last inning after Pena did not walk a batter through the first 6 innings of the ball game. Merrill in his second inning work has now walked 2 as Verdugo now will bat. Verdugo 0 for 2. Phil's with just 3 hits in this ball game. They, of course, do not bother to hold on Pineda. And the first pitch to Verdugo is up high for a ball. Verdugo now 0 for 5 in this series. Top of the order, and Cade Fergus in the on-deck circle for the Phils. The runner at first and 1 out. Verdugo back through the middle. Shortstop Cruz flips it to second for 1. The relay is in time. 6-4-3. Nicely turned by the SeaWolves to end the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and ultimately nobody left on base. 8 complete. It's 11-1 Erie. Tonight's attendance at FirstEnergy Stadium, 7,153. Thanks to our friends at PSECU for presenting tonight's attendance. PSECU is proud to be one of the largest credit unions in Pennsylvania. So for the second straight night, we topped the 7,000 mark in attendance. 7,021 last night, 7,153 the attendance tonight at FirstEnergy Stadium as we head to the top of the 9th inning. Jack Dallas out there to throw another inning of work after he came in and got the last 2 outs of the 8th inning. He'll pitch the 9th for the Phils. He'll face Roberto Campos, Chris Myers, and Eleazar Alfonso. Those are the 3 scheduled for Erie here in the 9th. Campos 0 for 4 on the night. Did get on board once in the 4th inning by way of an error. His ground ball to shortstop opened up the opportunity for the SeaWolves to eventually get 3 runs in that 4th inning, as they had runners at the time at 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. The ground ball to Aiden Miller, his throw home got away from Josh Bro, allowed both runs to score. And Campos eventually ended up at 2nd, then came around to score as well. So all 3 of those runs against Gene Cabrera ended up being as unearned runs as he fouls this one out of play. Campos now 1 ball and 1 strike, and Dallas winds and delivers and fouls another one straight back. It's 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, you look for little things in games like this you can kind of walk away with, right? Jack Dallas got 2 quick outs in the 8th inning. He's back out for the 9th, so a second up. If you can have a clean 9th inning here, it's something you can feel good about. I know Dallas has had his struggles a little bit coming off the development list.
And that's over for a called strike 3 as Campos goes down looking. The back-to-back strikeouts now for Dallas. Last out in the 8th and the first one here in the 9th. And that'll bring up Chris Myers. Myers has been on base twice with a couple of hits, a single and a double in 4 plate appearances. He's also scored 2 runs. The only person who has not scored a run in this game for Erie is the 9-hole hitter Jim Jarvis. As Myers takes the first pitch from Dallas outside for a ball. 1-0 pitch. Lines this one in the right field. That's going to be a base hit and maybe more. Pineda gets over to cut it off. Slides to do it. Nicely done, and that'll hold Myers to first base with a single.
Yeah, good play by Leandro Pineda. And kind of back to, what I was just saying, 10-run ball game. It's little things like that you're not going to see in the box score, but, they go a long way, and just kind of who you are as a baseball player, the makeup of a team, right? And it's a team playing better baseball, and, hey, you're down by 10 runs. Yes, don't hang your hats. Just find a way to, win each at-bat, make plays, and Pineda, good job there, lays out and keeps it to a single instead of a double for Myers.
So Eleazar Alfonso will bat, and he swings and fouls the first pitch back. Yeah, you can guarantee that there are guys who will watch for that kind of stuff, scouts who will look for that kind of stuff to see how a player plays in these situations. I mean, it's one thing to hustle in a 5-4 game. Yeah, they want you to hustle all the time. But when you make a hustle play like that in a one-sided game, that tells people something. 0-1 pitch now to Alfonso. It's way outside. It's 1-1. And they will not hold the runner Myers on at first base in this 10-run game. And he will not attempt to steal a base in a 10-run game. If he does, that might be a different story. 1-1 now to Alfonso. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
I mean, it wouldn't go down as a stolen base, that's for sure.
Yeah, well.
That's an Erie team that doesn't steal a lot.
It would go down as let's put a little mark next to that, shall we? For future reference, perhaps. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Alfonso. Choked up on the bat now with 2 strikes. Takes it away. It's ball 2. The aforementioned Jim Jarvis is in the on-deck circle for the SeaWolves. Two-two pitch. Misses again. It's 3-2.
Rain's picked up again, but it's very much a mist. I mean, there's umbrellas out, but it's not a pouring rain.
Dallas takes a look back at Myers. Again, has a lead, but nobody there to throw to even if he wanted to. 3-2 pitch. Lines this one right at Keaton. Anthony race back to the bag, and Myers dives back safely. So that's 2 outs here now in the 9th.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably, if Anthony is holding the runner on, that might go over his head.
Good
so
point.
Position well on that. Not hitting that hard, just 71 off the bat. So by the time Anthony gets back, he was not able to get Myers.
So that brings Jim Jarvis to the plate, who is 0 for 4 on the night. Jarvis was having a good series. They gave him the night off last night. He was 5 for 8 prior to tonight's game, but 0 for 4 so far. And that's outside for a ball. Jarvis had also played shortstop the first couple games. They put Trey Cruz there last night. He is there again with Jarvis at second, and it was a pretty nicely turned double play between Cruz and Jarvis to finish off the 8th for the Phils. 1-0 pitch. It's in the dirt. It's 2-0. Jake had talked about it. Trey Cruz is a guy who, I mean, again, he's a third-generation professional baseball player, but he loves being at the ballpark. You can tell. He plays the game with an exuberance. 2 balls and no strikes now to Jim Jarvis. And Trey Cruz is on the on-deck circle if Jarvis can reach. And he lifts this one into left field. Reyes has it. Battles the wind and the rain and makes the catch for the 3rd and final out. That will do it for the SeaWolves here in the 9th. No runs, 1 more hit, no errors, and 1 more left. We'll head to the 9th. Phils have a fair amount of work to do. They trail 11-1. Welcome back to FirstEnergy Stadium as we head to the 9th inning. Alverna University Golden Wolves call the bullpen. We'll bring in yet another pitcher for the SeaWolves, just their 3rd of the night. Ryan Boyer now will take over.
Yeah, Ryan Boyer actually started the year with New Hampshire. Now he's with Erie. So between the 2 stops, he has a 7.98 ERA over 10 games, 14 2/3 innings pitched. He'll have 5 home runs, 19 hits, 3 walks, 18 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .322 against Boyer this year.
Hard to imagine in the way these games have been played throughout the years that we've been doing these games. And we're on a Saturday night, and we're still seeing a couple of guys who had not been in the games as of yet. Matt Merrill and now Ryan Boyer both pitching for the first time in this series in Game 5. It's just very unusual with the amount of bullpen work that pitchers get in today's game. But here we are, and Cade Fergus is the first one to face Boyer. Fergus 0 for 3 on the night, batting a leadoff spot tonight. To be followed by Aiden Miller and then Keaton Anthony. And Fergus started and stopped, and they say he did not go around. So it's ball 1 to Fergus. He beats this one fouled on the 3rd base line. 1 ball and 1 strike to Fergus. Flew out to right, struck out, and popped up to the shortstop in his 3 plate appearances. Might you stick around coming up for our White Star Travel postgame show following the final out of this one. And again, Phils and SeaWolves to finish off the series tomorrow, 5:15 here at the ballpark. The weather promises to be better. And that's over for a called strike 2. It's 1-2 now to Cade Fergus. And a Nick Singleton bobblehead in his Governor Mifflin Mustang maroon and gold tomorrow for the first 2,000 kids in attendance. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cade Fergus. Swinging and a miss, strike 3. Fergus goes down swinging for the first out in the ninth. Carlos Pena went the first 6 for the SeaWolves, gave up just 3 hits. Matt Merrill went 2 and did not give up a hit. Did walk 2. So 3 hits on the night for the Phils, 2 walks. That's it in terms of base runners. One of those hits was Aiden Miller, who doubled his first time up. Struck out and flew out to center his other 2 plate appearances. Drives this one into right field, shallow, falling fast and in for a base hit. Miller will round first and stay there with a Texas League single in no man's land down the first base line. Holton, the first baseman, went running straight out. Bigby came flying in as fast as he could, and it might have been a broken bat, but Aiden Miller will take a base hit out of it, his second hit of the night. He is a 1-out base runner now for Keaton Anthony. Anthony 1 for 3 on the night with a double. Mr. Doubles with 19 now on the season. And first pitch to him is over for a called strike. Again, they do not bother to hold Aiden Miller on at first. Boyer delivers, 0-1 pitch, hit towards the left side and through for a base hit. Just past the diving Mendoza and into left field for a second hit of the game for Keaton Anthony. Back-to-back singles for the Phils here with 1 out in the 9th, and that will bring Felix Reyes to the plate. So 2 more hits on the night now for Keaton Anthony. And Reyes, who is 0 for 2 on the night, walked his last time up. Now a conversation between Alfonso and Boyer. Catcher talking to his pitcher. So Reyes with 12 RBIs on the season stands in. First pitch, tried to check his swing and actually tipped his bat and held on to by the catcher Alfonso, so that's strike 1 to Reyes. And Felix turns around and asks home plate umpire Chase Eubanks, was that a strike? Had I not swung, and I think it probably was. No balls and a strike now. Lifts this one straight up in the infield. Let's see who's going to take charge. Looks like it's going to be the second baseman, Jarvis. And a good thing he took charge because Mendoza, the third baseman, was going to do it as well. And the mound got him. And the legs went out from under Mendoza to his knees. And fortunately for him, Jarvis was in position to make the call. And also a smart play by the catcher Alfonso, who then went down and covered third base with Mendoza charging in. So in all, it ends up being a pop up to the second baseman. But it had a little bit of an adventure to it on the surroundings. Good job by Jarvis to keep the focus and make the catch for the second out, and that'll bring Josh Breaux to the plate. The Phils are down to their last bat. 2 on, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Swing and a miss. Slider that Breaux was way out in front of, guessing first pitch fastball and got a breaking ball. Warriors 0-1 pitch on the outside corner, strike 2. Probably a little bit outside the strike zone, but in this situation, if it's close, you better presume it's going to be a strike. So it's no balls and 2 strikes now to Josh Breaux. That's way outside. Now when he can lay off, it's 1-2. Boyer from the stretch delivers. In the dirt, it's 2-2. Hardy Souls, who are waiting for a Mega Blast fireworks, hoping that Josh Bro can give them a little bit more excitement with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. Fouls this one straight back and stays alive. Miller at second, he singled. Anthony at first, he singled. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Josh Bro. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll do it. As Bro goes down swinging, second strikeout in the inning for Boyer for the Phils in the 9th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. And the Erie SeaWolves take Game 5 of this series and now take the lead in this series as well as they win it tonight, 11-1. We'll take a timeout back on the Ready Fight Phils Radio Network with our White Star Travel postgame show right after this. Tonight's postgame show was presented by White Star Travel, the official group sponsor of the Reading Fight Phils. Visit whitestartours.com for more information. Well, this series had been very competitive through the first 4 games. The Phils and SeaWolves had split the 4 games. Reading winning game 1, 1-0. The SeaWolves winning the doubleheader on Thursday, 7-2 and 5-4. And then Reading coming back and winning last night's game 5-4 as well. And so the games were all pretty competitive, with that 7-2 being the one outlier, if you will, for the SeaWolves in the first game of the doubleheader. Tonight, a different story. The SeaWolves beat up on the Phils and took some advantage of the Phils' mistakes as well, and they cruised to an 11-1 victory tonight and now have a 3-2 lead in the series. And obviously the Phils still have an opportunity to come up with a split of this, and a split against a very good Erie team, a team that coming into tonight's game was tied with Akron for the best record in the Eastern League. And atop the Southwest Division standings, Akron and Erie were tied for first place. So really, this is a series with, you come out of this with a split. It's not the worst thing in the world going up against an Erie team. Well, now you don't really have a choice but to hope to come out of this with a split if you can save the final win tomorrow. The Phils will have their work cut out for them, obviously, tomorrow against Erie. But that's the situation that the Phils find themselves in after the SeaWolves dominate tonight's game. They win it by a final score of 11-1. We'll take a timeout, back with more of our White Star Travel postgame show, including a rundown of all the scoring in tonight's game after this. Welcome back to our White Star Travel postgame show where the Reading Fightin Phils fall to the Erie SeaWolves tonight by a final score of 11-1. Let's take a look at how things unfolded in this one. It started out being a relatively good pitching matchup, at least for the first couple innings, between Gene Cabrera for the Phils and Carlos Pena for the SeaWolves. That all changed after the third inning came to a completed scoreless tie at 0-0. But in the fourth inning, that's when things changed with Tyron Lorenzo leading it off with a single. That was followed by a double to Jake Holt, put runners at second and third, and nobody out. Phils bring the infield up. First batter to face that defense was Justice Bigby, and he hit a ground ball to Aiden Miller, held the runners, and threw to first for the out, 1 out in the inning. That brought Roberto Campos to the plate. Same thing, comebacker to Aiden Miller. And this time, Lorenzo broke for the plate. Miller's throw short hopped the catcher, Josh Bro. He was not able to hold on to the ball. It got by him to the backstop. That allowed Lorenzo to score. And ultimately, Holton came around to score on the play as well. Turned out to be a two-base error. Campos moved up to second base. And the next batter, two batters later, Eleazar Alfonso singled to bring in Myers. And all three runs come across, all of them unearned, against Cabrera, who ends up going 5 in the third innings, gives up the 6 hits, and ultimately a few more runs later, as we'll find out when we get to the 6th inning. But before that, the Phils able to get a run across in the 5th. It started with a leadoff triple from Alex Pinellas, and 2 batters later, Leandro Pineda drove him home with a fly ball to straightaway center field. Pinellas scoring, Pineda picking up his 10th RBI of the season on the sacrifice fly. That made it a 3-1 game, and obviously very much anybody's ball game at that point in time. But then things got ugly in the 6th inning. Justice Bigby led it off with a single. Fly out by Roberto Campos, 1 out in the inning. Then Chris Myers singles, puts runners at first and second, and 1 out. And they made the call to the bullpen to Mitch Neuenborn. And the first batter he faces was Eleazar Alfonso. Rain was coming down, the wind was blowing out, and Eleazar Alfonso sailed it on out on a 3-run home run to make it a 6-1 game. And then after a strikeout to Jarvis, he walked Trey Cruz. Cruz was followed by Carlos Mendoza, who barreled up a 2-run home run. And then Tyron Lorenzo added on for another solo home run. 3 home runs in the inning for the SeaWolves in what turned out to be a 6-run inning. And the SeaWolves had broken it open to a 9-1 advantage. They added on with a run in the 7th. Myers got it started with a 2-out double, and then on a ground ball to by Alfonso to Keaton Anthony, trying to get Nelson Alvarez, who was on to pitch, covering at first base, and the throw from Anthony was too far out in front, got away from Alvarez, and it allowed Myers to score another run. That made it 10-1 in favor of the SeaWolves, and they added another in the 8th. Trey Cruz started it with a walk. Carlos Mendoza singled to put Cruz at third base with first and third and nobody out. And then Lorenzo hits a fly ball to Pineda in right field that allows Cruz to score and gives Lorenzo another RBI. And that made it an 11-1 game in favor of the SeaWolves. And with that, the SeaWolves ultimately hold off the Phils, who were able to get a couple hits in the 9th inning from Aiden Miller and Keaton Anthony, but not able to bring them home. And the SeaWolves take the W on the night. For Erie, 11 runs on 12 hits. They did not commit an error, and they left 7 men on base. For the Fightin Phils, 1 run on 5 hits. They committed 3 errors, and they left 4 men on base. Carlos Pena gets the win. He is 2-3. Gene Cabrera takes the loss. He is 1-3. Time of the game, 2 hours and 26 minutes, and played in front of 7,153 fans here in Baseball Town. The SeaWolves with the win go to 33-17 on the season. Reading with the loss falls to 18-30 on the year. SeaWolves now have the 3-2 advantage in the series, and we'll find out how it ultimately turns out tomorrow right back here at FirstEnergy Stadium. Again, 5:15 is our first pitch. And on the Reading Fightin Phils radio network, 5 o'clock will be our pregame show start time. And again, tomorrow is a Nick Singleton salute to our hometown heroes. Tomorrow, the former Governor Mifflin standout and now Penn State football standout will be in attendance tomorrow night. All kids will receive a Nick Singleton bobblehead in his Governor Mifflin uniform, that maroon and gold 10 that so many people saw, so many records stand out from with Nick Singleton as a Governor Mifflin Mustang. We'll see that in a bobblehead form tomorrow. The kids will on the giveaway. And then there will also be a free photo session as well for kids with Nick Singleton. So all that tomorrow with the addition of the baseball game between the Phils and the SeaWolves. Again, tomorrow afternoon, 5:15. That's going to do it for our coverage tonight. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Jake Starr. My name is Bob McCool. Thanks for listening to Reading Fightin' Phils Baseball on 830WEU.com. We'll have it for you again tomorrow here as well from FirstEnergy Stadium. And, of course, as always, we'd love to see you here at the ballpark. Once more, the final score, Erie 11, Reading 1. Thanks for listening, everyone. Have yourselves a great night. We'll see you very soon, we hope, here in Baseball Town.